baseball, we don't buy.
That's because they don't have the money, nobody goes.
Thank you, Dale, thank you.
Then you guys
You
have
gotta
money,
have-
it's full.
You have to have fans to pay them.
We have true fans that go there to watch baseball.
That's why they're going to Nashville.
It's 7 o'clock, we're gonna have to move on here. Hold on, Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Dixon?
Here.
Commissioner Weeding? Commissioner Walsh?
Here.
Commissioner Michael?
Here.
Mayor Lyons?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, first thing on the agenda, we have this open, is public comment. If you'd like to come up and state your name, and you have 3 minutes. Anybody here for public comment? Okay, next on the agenda is approval of the minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes from last regular city council meeting that was on, took place on Tuesday, June 9th. Do I have a motion?
Yes. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, reports by our city officials. I'm up first. First thing I need a motion to make the appointment for Brittany Andrews to be part of the Special Events Commission for the city of Braidwood. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next up I need a motion for appointment for Michelle Kondrasak to be part of the Special Events Committee for the city of Braidwood. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Next up on reports by city officials is the city management consultant.
Thank you, Mayor. The first item on the agenda is ordinance to approve ordinance 2026-40, authorizing the city of Braidwood to enter into and for the mayor of Braidwood to execute a proposal for the professional services and a professional service agreement with RVI Planning, Landscaping, Architecture regarding the Braidwood Dog Park. This was before the council 2 weeks ago at the Committee of the Whole, and this is to construct a dog park at Old Smoky. We are working with the Park District on the location, and this is to get the process started. Just to refresh the council, the concept, excuse me, the agreement is to create a concept plan, have us approve the concept plan, and then they would move into construction documents so we can bid the project once the concept plan is approved.
Do we have a time frame?
So we are shooting for, actually, we had a big conversation today about the town center and the dog park. We are hoping to break ground on the dog park the last week in September, and we are hoping to break ground on the town center the first week in October.
I'm just wondering, is competitive bidding involved when we're looking for a landscaper or an architect?
It is, we have not done it, no. To answer your question, we have not done that.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh?
No.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, you're still up. Are you gonna talk about
Yes,
more?
thank you, Mayor. A shout out to Josh. We've had some severe weather here in Braidwood the past 2 weeks. Josh is outside like the weather guy in the Weather Channel looking for tornadoes and hanging out to poles and his group, his team is out there spotting to make sure Braidwood citizens are safe when they set the sirens off. So a big shout out and kudos to Josh and his team for taking the time and for being in the elements during these storms to ensure the safety of Braidwood residents. So Josh, thank you to you and your team. The Route 66 bench that we received a grant for, the bench was installed under the pavilion last week. The mayor had talked to the individuals that helped us get the grant, and the bench is, if anybody gets an opportunity for residents, it kind of has a history painted on the bench of Braidwood. Sarah and several people went at great lengths looking into the history of Braidwood, different corporations and companies and things that we're known for. It's kind of painted on the bench, and so it gives a good history of Braidwood. So if you get an opportunity, stop by, check out the selfie wall, and check out the bench, and take a seat on the bench, see if it's comfortable. Towns of Braidwood, so we're currently working with a developer who has the agreement that was passed several years ago that is developing the vacant lots in the towns of Braidwood. That agreement is going to be expired. A certain portion of that agreement is going to be expired. We are currently working on an amendment to present to the developer, and we're trying to give a bit more favorable terms in the agreement. And so that's an ongoing project. I just wanted the council to be aware of that. It will be coming before the COW and the council once we agree to terms and once we understand what the agreement would look like next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, in order to make that subdivision even better than what it is today. Hickory Street Storage, as you remember, Bernie DeRazio was here presenting the storage project on Hickory Street. There is a little slight change in the design. Instead of doing underground detention, he is looking to buy the property, a couple of acres of the property adjacent to him, for above ground storage for his detention pond. Sean has vetted the project, vetted his idea for change. We're currently working through some engineering issues, but it should be moving forward. We are going to grant him a foundation and grading permit, even though that his engineering isn't quite complete yet for that detention. But we still have a hammer occupancy, and we can still stop the project if we don't agree with the engineering. I don't see any issues, so we are going to go ahead and allow him to get an engineering and grading permit. The project should be underway shortly, and it should be moving forward. City Hall and roofing repairs, we put dollars in the budget to replace this roof. The roof is in okay shape. It does need to be replaced, but we thought we could get another year or two out of this roof. And so they patched various areas where we thought there could have been some leaking. So that was completed 2 weeks ago, and we're hoping to buy 2 or 3 years left on this roof before we get a replacement. The other thing I want to notice, again, there's a lot of things in the highlight that we're doing, but webpage. Our webpage is hopefully to go live within the next week or two. It looks really nice. I think Sarah sent out a copy, a link to everybody to look at our new webpage design. Some things that I want to go over with the Civic Plus and our webpage guys. So there's a conference or Zoom call tomorrow. We're going to work on some questions, get those questions answered, and hopefully we can get this launched maybe as early as this week, but maybe by no later than next week. That is our goal. And one of the key elements to this new webpage is people can get permits online or do their application online, submit their permits online. They can't get the permits online, but they can submit their permit online. There are some pay options as well for water billing. Sarah's done yeoman's work on this.
So the water billing, which is already available on our website, but it'll be on there too. But the submittal, we still have some more things to tweak with Springbrook before they'll be able to submit them. But they are fillable forms and all that stuff that will be available right away. So hopefully we can move forward with having them to be able submitted straight through the website for permits. We don't have that just yet. We're still working on that. So that might be like a phase 2 into the website. But at least for right now, they'll be fillable and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll have more options for everybody to see for the plants, for like public works, and get more information out there. It'll just be more eye-pleasing for the webpage and stuff like that. Hopefully
And user-friendly.
User-friendly. It'll be searchable. I have this new agenda and minutes program, and every time I post this, it will link right to the webpage automatically. You can also sign up for you can get updates, so if anything does, like any new agendas or stuff that gets posted, you can sign up for alerts and you can get those notifications automatically too, so there is that's on there. So, it's coming along. There's still gonna be probably some little tweaks that's gonna, after it's launched, you know, so bear with us, you know, we're still working out everything, but it is a work in progress.
But a great job by Sarah. I mean, she's kind of taken this under her wing and has done a great job of kind of creating from scratch. And she's done a really good job.
Yeah, it looks better like the layout. It looks nice.
I mean, we still might be able to change things here and there, but we'll work through it.
I had no idea that mobile, if you look at it on
It's-
mobile,
yeah.
that it could be different.
It can be
than-
different, yep. And so that is what you, your suggestion to me, we've already got that fixed.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, so if you go back through that link again, if you view it, it should be updated.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
you're welcome, thank you.
And the last thing I just have is planning commission meeting will be Monday, July 12th. We'll have 2 items to discuss. We'll have a variance request from the Ford dealership on their sign square footage coverage, and to accept the final plat of subdivision from Common Storage.
I believe it's the 13th. That's a typo.
Oh, it's a
Steve.
typo, my bad.
Yeah. The 12th is a Sunday.
So it's Monday the 13th, July.
Monday the 13th, my bad.
Sorry.
We could have it on Sunday, but you know.
It's a question for you, Sean, too, but what is the update on the Route 113 55 interchange? I saw some emails going through.
Yep. We've been working with IDOT now since last December, trying to get information back and forth to this landscaping permit. City agreed to do some landscaping improvements at the northeast and the southeast corner of the interchange, the landscape islands. We heard from IDOT finally, but IDOT, as it turns out, we got part of the information, and there was a separate, the developer also on his own reached out to IDOT through some other parties, and they got a response and some information from IDOT on the landscaping permit. So we actually got part of the information, but luckily, because we were also copied on the other information, we got the rest of the information, put it all together. I reached out to IDOT and said, this is a complete submittal now. I have all the comments. I've been told that basically they're a complete comment, so now we are making the changes to resubmit a final submittal. Will go out this week. And then hopefully we've answered all their questions and they can give us the permit. One of the things they are gonna look for us to do, for the city to do, is to go ahead and actually, the city had gotten pricing for, you know, to take down some of the trees, but we're gonna have to actually firm that up with actual proposals to take down the trees and also for the landscaper to put the new seed and a couple trees, things back after it's all cleaned up. We'll have to get those type of items because that will be, IDOT will give you a permit, says, hey, the permit looks fine, we'll issue it, but in order to actually get the permit itself, you'll need the contractors in place. So this is kind of getting all the stuff done. IDOT says, yep, we're good. Get your contractors in place, at which point in time, then they can actually send all the documents. So I will also be putting together some specification language for proposal. So when we send it out for proposal, everyone will be giving exactly compare apples to apples, essentially. So it's kind of like, rather than competitively bidding, is you're actually building requests and proposals for the exact same information. Same effect, essentially, in this case. So IDOT's middle this week, and then the language for the city to review before they solicit proposals after that. We're just trying to get all these things taken care of before we start getting contractors on board saying, hey, I submitted something to you, why is this project not going anywhere? Because unlike a bid where you have the ability to hold it for 45 days, a lot of these contractors, you know, if you're just requesting proposals, they may not want to hold it as long. So that's where we stand at this point.
All right, thank you. That segues right into the kind of Europe on the agenda for your report. Do you have anything left, Steve?
Yeah, just one thing, I want to just, Commissioner Walsh had a great question, RVI being competitively bid, that's a great question. So legally, we don't have to competitively bid professional services. They did such a great job with the town center, we felt just, you know, bringing them in. Very similar to like Robinson Engineering, every time that we do a sidewalk quote from Robinson, because they're kind of like our engineer, we don't have to competitively bid a separate proposal for Robinson for a sidewalk analysis or for the I&I project. But if the council wants to competitively bid, we can certainly do, usually you do request for qualifications rather than bid it, because you don't, somebody might be a very low bid, but they're not qualified, they don't have the computer technology to do the plans correctly. So that what I've done in the past is we've done requests for proposals and say, hey, this is what we want to do, give us your proposal, give us your portfolio of projects you've done in the past, and we can then choose.
So you're like interviewing for a job. basically.
Correct. And then we can negotiate a price, or we can then say, okay, your price is good, or whatever. But certainly, we can do requests for proposals for any future, if that's, council's desire, absolutely.
Is it normally a certain dollar amount? Like, I'm used to our construction projects, they run into the hundreds of thousands. Is there usually a,
Yeah, usually it's a percentage, so we have a $300,000 budget, it could be 5%, 7% of the budget. That's usually how they kind of, and what type of services do you want? So when we get a quote from RVI, there's a menu of things, one, in any professional service. So there's a menu of items. You want to have a public meeting. Public meetings are $2,500. They have their staff come here and do a public meeting. Do you want us to present? $1,000 to present. So it's kind of a menu of items. And, I think for the dog park, it was like $29,000 is what they asked for. And I said, that's too high. They came back at 25 and said, no, we don't want you to present. If we have any public meetings, we'll do it ourselves. So we're not getting those type of services because we don't want to pay for those services. So what we're getting, and for construction management, so once the project is bid, someone's got to manage the project to make sure that the concrete is the right thickness, or they've got the right parts that were in the plans. And RVI would do it, what they call a quality control, to make sure all those parts and all those items are what were specified in the contract.
okay. And they're based out of Naperville?
Yes.
So did you vote no because you didn't understand that part of it, or you're not for the dog park?
Oh, no, I voted no because I just think that there are certain needs and wants of the city.
Yeah,
And
and I agree with that, it's just
I
about
think-
finding a balance,
Yeah,
of what's need and what is want.
I just, in my opinion, this is more of a want at this point.
Absolutely,
So that's all.
absolutely.
But great question, Dale, was a great question. Yeah.
Thanks, Steve, for clarifying.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Okay, now, engineer, you're up.
The only thing I was just gonna mention is, we've received the contract books back from Deconstruction. We're just verifying insurance, and then we'll be shortly sending them out to the city for execution, at which point in time we'll schedule a pre-construction meeting. I'm anticipating, obviously, with the holiday coming up shortly, it'll be after July before we get that in place with Deconstruction, and then they'll start work in July for our road program. They're supposed to be done by the end of September for that.
So I had a late email, I didn't get a chance to read, but I put it up, something to do with our decorative signs, have anything up to date on our decorative signs?
I actually got an email just today from Andrea,
Yeah,
Bertelli,
I
yeah,
just
from
saw it.
IDOT.
I was coming in here.
just letting me know that, hey, I've got you're next on my list of things to look at. Andrea is also the person that we're dealing with for the interchange as well.
Okay, so we have the contact person. that-
Correct, which is good, because she's the person I reached out to after the fact that I found out there was a separate review portion that the city had never received
Uh-huh.
for the landscape. So, and she confirmed that she's the person, sent everything to her, and she'll take care of it. So at least we've now got the contact that we're actually hearing back from, so hopefully we can get both those things wrapped up shortly.
And IDOT's got a huge bureaucracy, right? I mean, it is easier to get new legislation through the US Senate than it is to get items done with IDOT, right? They review and review, they have 7 reviewers for a landscape project, so it is, they do a good job, but it's frustrating if we want to get something moving quick.
Yeah,
And Dale and Warren, deal with this all the time, right? IDOT takes their time.
Is this something new, or have you experienced this for years?
This is,
For years.
it's getting worse.
Yeah, it is getting
It's
worse.
gotten
and worse.
worse.
Yeah.
It's gotten worse. A lot of the engineers are leaving IDOT, going to work for the private sector. And so they don't have the institutional knowledge of these engineers that have been there for a long time. And the engineers that they're hiring are very green. And they don't want to make a decision, and it just goes through the bureaucracy, and it goes through 12 steps to say we're gonna cut down 10 trees, and it's gotta go through 12 different reviews. And it just, but that's the way they do it.
okay. Anything else, any more updates, anything else?
No, not at this time.
Okay, city attorney.
Yes, Mayor, I just have one item. It's the discussion of regarding the filing of a demolition complaint involving 360 North Mitchell. I can just go through the summary here, and then I can certainly answer any questions if needed. So 360 North Mitchell is property south of East 3rd Street that has a single-family home located on it. The home is currently occupied by one owner and her son, and a second owner resides in another home in Braidwood. The structure is currently in disrepair and is dangerous to its occupants. It has substantial roof damage that is in part covered by a blue tarp. In other areas, the roof is uncovered with the rafters exposed, and in other areas there are holes. The gutter, eaves, siding, and windows are damaged to an extent that allow for water to enter the interior of the home. The wood surrounding the windows is rotting. The city has previously contacted the residents by letter and in person in 2025. The residents are aware that the home is in bad shape, but they have not made any attempts to fix it and are unwilling to voluntarily repair or demolish the home. The city's attempted to find community resources that could assist them in finding safe housing, but no resources are available. So Brian Wellner has prepared a complaint that would essentially ask the court to order the occupants to vacate the property, order the property owners to repair or demolish the structure, and then 3, in the event that the property owners fail to repair or demolish the structure, order that the city be allowed to demolish or cause for the demolition of the home, amongst other remedies. Before the complaint can be filed, there would have to be a required notice, a 15-day notice that is sent to the property owners of the city's intent to demolish the home, and then the city is capable of recovering all enforcement costs related to the action, including attorney's fees and demolitions costs as a judgment against the property owners that can result in a lien and foreclosure against the property.
Does anybody have any questions first on the board?
Let's have Eric can kind of talk about real quick, I'm sorry,
The
Mayor.
background,
A little bit of background on the things that the PD has done to try to help. It's a sad situation, but it's a dangerous situation, and very dangerous. So Eric, you kind of want to explain kind of what we've done to try to move this
To
around?
remedy the situation.
Yeah. I know our efforts have definitely predated me. 10 months ago when I started, it predated me. Sergeant Peterson's been here for 10 years, and he said he's worked on this house for some time. Since I've been here, I went at it early on. I met with them. I talked to the owner and her son, the occupant. I talked to them about repairing the property. I also talked about alternative housing. They weren't interested. They said it's fine. It's livable inside. It is not. I'm afraid to see what it looks like inside if we ever get to the point where the courts give us authority to remove them from the property and look inside the house and inspected the interior. The exterior, BNF inspected it and suggested it's grossly dangerous. It's very uninhabitable. Structure-wise, from the outside, so the inside's probably gonna look worse. I met with them personally. I tried to plead. We provided them literature from Will County's Center for Community Concerns. They have a housing program for these situations, to try to work with these homeowners to find alternative housing, funding, things like that. Provided literature on senior services. The owner, one of the 2 owners that does live there, is elderly. They're not interested. We've tried. I started this in October, met with them then, again in December, provided literature after that. They're just not wanting to come around, and they're really exposing themselves to great risk. I think a lack of action would be irresponsible on our part. I think we've exhausted all options at the police department level. I tried to get a buyer to connect with them who would be willing to buy it, and I believe they own the house outright. And it's 2 great lots in town, 2 large, a double lot, corner lot. There's definitely value there, and I talked to them about that, about taking that cash out and finding alternate housing, and they weren't interested.
In one of our staff meetings, you mentioned you reached out to family to try to find places for family.
I worked with one of the owners who's living there, one of the owners who doesn't live there, her niece and niece's husband. We've been back and forth negotiating third party to try to get them to nudge them to take action, to move. Not working.
And we are here for those individuals. It's not that we're trying to kick somebody out of their homestead. We are worried about their safety.
Yeah, it's not about beautification, it's about.
It's not about beautification,
It's about
right?
safety, health, and safety.
Correct, it's their health and welfare.
Yeah.
And we're here to help. We're here to extend whatever resources we have But as Eric has said, they have refused those overtures of help. And we have no other alternative but to do this. There's no action needed by the council. This was just an informative and saying, hey, this is what we're doing, and please ask questions if you have anything. Again, this is 100% for their safety, health, and welfare, and again, we are here to help. Just ask us, or just tell us, what do you need, and we're here to help.
Well, you covered, I mean, you both covered it real well, but Steve, you hit on it at the end there, health. I mean, I'm surprised the health department, Will County Health Department, I mean, it's gotta be moldy in there. I mean, I've heard that they have, you know,
There's some exposure, it looks like.
places to collect water when it rains, and pots and containers and things, and it's gotta be moldy as can be in there.
We were concerned, we were concerned all last summer, and then this winter, there was exposed walls, right, from the outside. It just, again, it's just a sad situation. I don't know how they live it, I don't know the conditions, they have to be terrible. Like you said, water, freezing,
Mold.
just mold, it has to be a very bad environment.
Commissioner Walsh, we did contact Will County Health Department, BNF Construction Code Enforcement, or Code Services contacted them. They were not able to help. They were not able to help us, not in the real house.
You have to get approval to enter, is that pretty much what it is?
They just don't, they don't work with situations like that. You think they would,
Yeah.
but they don't.
They rely on the municipality to take care of it, is kind of how they work.
Yeah, we've exhausted all options, it seems like. I mean, and we've, as a police department, my 10 months here, we've tried all angles to try to help them out.
Thank you.
Any questions, Liz, or?
No, I drove by there Saturday, and I think it's gotten worse since
It has.
the winds.
It has.
No question.
It was like, I couldn't believe it. And I know the niece, and I know she's really trying to get this resolved.
Yeah.
She's been very helpful.
She's
Trying to get it resolved.
She's a very nice
Absolutely.
person.
All right, we'll move on. Does anybody got any other questions of the board? We just want to make sure everybody's up to speed on that, because we're going through a process. Reports by city commissioners or council finance.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve payment of bills in the amount of $108,834.36.
I'll second.
Okay, before we vote, BNF Construction, $5,800 for inspections, Braidwood Fuel, $4,700, Flock Group, $9,000 for a contract payment, Hall Signs, $19,000 for decorative street sign supplies, the accountant was $11,000, the attorney was $12,000, MOE insurance was $22,000, and Union Hill was $16,000 for a new mower deck. We're good.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes?
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, and I'll make a motion to approve payroll in the amount of $102,377.11.
I'll second.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes?
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, before I make this motion, I just wanted to give a little background on it. I'm gonna make a motion to approve, going into a contract with Jack Henry for a check scanner system for, incoming water bills. So we would automatically scan it in to Springbrook. Springbrook would spit out a report and it would go to the bank, and it will match every check up to the pay stub, so that we know we have the right, that it's actually a check that went into the account and not cash. They said today it would be 95% of keying would be eliminated. So all they would have to do is put it in and not have to key anything into the system, which seems to be helpful because we do have quite a few errors every now and then, and you're spending an hour, hour and a half trying to get it fixed. So, I make a motion to, and just It's a one-time implementation and personal services fee for $2,500, and then it's $250 a month after that. So it's, the cost is minimal compared to spending spending all that time trying to reconcile checks and money, and it'll all be reconciled.
And then any checks coming in would go
Yes,
through
so
that?
every,
Mainly for water, because that's what.
yeah, but every check that comes into this building will go through it, right? That's the receipt, you guys accept.
It would be for the water billing, but we'd still have to manually enter some of those checks that aren't attached to a UB account. We'd still get it
I didn't
processed
think
through
so.
because it'll go to the bank, but they won't have a remittance to go for the UB billing.
We're gonna have to check on that, because when I talked to them at the beginning, they said every check that came through City Hall would go through.
Because there'll be some that don't have the
Yeah, I
little
know.
receipt, those would have to be manually entered, it would just be like any other account that's not associated with the billing account. with the
That's
UB.
not what they told me.
Okay, then I was not in that first
Yeah.
meetings then,
They said every check could go through it,
okay.
so I'll have to talk to them again.
I think the checks to go to the bank, yes, but not the UB part though, so that's where we'd have to figure that out.
What's UB?
Utility billing,
Okay. If, say we get a check, like we did the refund for that, for overpayment, that would go through it.
for what, I'm sorry?
Like we got that check back for overpayment on one of the bills, whatever
Mhm.
it was, and check would go through there.
But it's not associated with the account, so that was where we need to figure out the two different things, so.
Yeah, but the plan is put everything that comes through here through that check scanner.
Yeah, I haven't figured out how the two different things are gonna go into play yet, so.
Well, that's for Jack Henry to figure out.
It sounds like it's a good program. We had discussed it earlier, and then I talked to Gary, the computer guy.
Yeah,
This brings our technology up, and it will expedite things in the future. There's just a lot of work that we've gotta work out to get there. But once we're there, it's gonna be beneficial for the city of Braidwood.
yes.
There's just some things that we have to work out to get there. I talked to Gary today, I don't know if you talked to Gary, did you guys?
We had a conference call today.
Okay, so he just called me to fill me in, so as long as we're all on the same page, it's a good thing, it sounds
Yes.
like, it's just getting there.
Yeah, there's gonna have to be maybe some changes to the way the water bills are done. They might not be on postcards, they might have to be paper.
Yeah, that's what
It
it's-
all depends on what we can work out.
Okay, so just as long as we're all on the same page, sounds like it's a good thing, it's just gonna
It
take a
is,
little
if
bit
we
to get there,
95% of no keying in,
you know.
cause that's what takes forever. So I would like an emotion to approve ordinance 2641, approving and authorizing the city of Braidwood to enter into and for the mayor to execute agreements with Jack Henry.
I'll second.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes,
Motion carries.
hey, does he have anything left, or?
No, that's it. Oh, I do have one more thing. We got a draft audit. I got it late this afternoon. So we're hoping to have the audit review on the 12th or 13th of July. 14th, I was off,
Okay.
at the 14th city council meeting.
All right, thank you. Streets and public improvements?
Yes, sir. Just finishing my notes. I just wanted to reiterate what Steve said about Josh. We had a couple storms last week, trees down, still raining. Josh is out there with the tape and everything, and his rain suit and everything, so I appreciate it. And we had a couple blockages last week. I think it was North Center and over here on Kennard Court. Power lines were knocked down, so I just want to remind the folks, when there is a storm, if you have branches or trees down or whatever, if you can have them cut up and put by the curb, our streets crew will pick them up that week and the following weeks. It's been a windy and rainy spring, so, but that is all I have. Thank you.
Any additional, fellas, Ray, we got any additional flooding complaints, any different ones? We've got a couple on the table that we're working with Sean to get them worked out. Do we got any additional complaints to your knowledge? Of any flooding complaints?
No, I haven't seen too
I
many.
haven't gotten emails, I haven't heard anything either, but
Sure.
usually,
I mean, everything's flooded.
Yeah, yeah, whatever.
Cornfields are flooded, everything. And I'm glad you brought it up because we have, when we talk about the issue of flooding in people's backyards, private property, and when I went by the cornfield on Coal City Road, that, you know, that's a real low area, but you never hear farmers saying, hey, I need the city to run some drain tile to the nearest ditch. You know, but for some reason, there are people, residents that think we go into their private property and run drain tiles for them. We don't do that. So, the next time someone asks us, and we've been to homes before,
Yeah.
last spring, and I just ask them, you know, it just doesn't happen. We're not supposed, it's not part of our lane. We don't, I mean, we go, geez, at $4,000 or $5,000 a yard, I mean, we go broke with this. So, yeah, we don't go into private property to run drain tiles. We have been there and assisted people. We've had Scott go down and shoot grade and with our laser pointer and all that, and told them this is what you need to do. We've had engineers, Sean's been out there many times. So, it's just that time of year, and we've had an extremely wet spring, and we've gone 2 years without this, so it's been pretty light, you know, the last couple of springs, but this has been over the top of the rehab, so.
all right.
That's all I had.
Public buildings and property, did anybody leave the report for anybody?
I have one item, Sarah's got a report, but I have one item. So Warren has diligently went out and looked at 3 quotes for the food pantry, the ramp, the deck, and the stairs for the food pantry. He has received 3 quotes. We have one quote that is a low quote, is 11,000 change, 11,500, something like that, including the lumber. I did contact that contractor today. I have not received a call back, but Warren and I met yesterday, and we determined he was the lowest, best qualified quote. So hopefully we'll get that moving shortly.
All right, thank you.
And then just a couple things that Sarah had given me here, 6 water meter repairs, 2 water leak repairs, fixed city hall sign, power supply issue, 122 locates were done, and several monthly meter reads were completed. So the water department stays busy. I had to say that because George is right here, so.
Yeah, and if he's here, he wouldn't even sign. All right. Public health and safety.
All right, I got a few things today, Mayor. I need a motion to approve the ordinance 2026-42, ordinance authorizing the mayor of Braidwood to enter an executive and integral agreement between the city of Braidwood and the Reed Custer Community School District, number 255U, regarding a receptacle reporting agreement.
Chief, you want to talk about that, just explain to the board what that is, what they understand what a reciprocal agreement is?
Sure. We have one in place already with the Grundy County State's Attorney's Office, and they put it together on behalf of all the schools in Grundy County. This is directly with Reed Custer. It's common for any community across the state, any police department, any city government, to have these reciprocal reporting agreements with their school districts. It sort of insulates us in state law, and it regulates and it sort of holds us accountable to keep open communication and report sharing in place in both directions, all for the welfare and safety of the kids. So we have a great relationship with Reed Custer School District right now. We do communicate very well. If that would to break down the road, an agreement like this kind of holds us both accountable to make sure we keep in touch and keep sharing information.
It's hard to share that without that because of the Juvenile Act anyway, so it gives us the ability to.
It sure does, So it does regulate our sharing, but without the agreement in place, we're sort of irresponsibly sharing information back and forth. This laws are in place for a reason related to reciprocal reporting. We just haven't had this agreement in place for whatever reason with Reed Custer. It's not something we need to renew annually. I know Grundy County does it annually. We don't need to with Reed Custer annually. We can get it in place now and we'll be set.
Thank
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, and I have the Braidwood Police Department activity report from June 9th to the June 22nd. We had 325 number of calls of service. We had 39 case reports. We had total subjects arrested were 3. Total arrest charges were 5. Total number of traffic stops were 86. Citations, 36. Written warnings were 51. And total number of P-tickets were 30. And for our code enforcement for the abandoned and improbable vehicles brought into compliance on the private property, we had a total number of 5, and by tow, we had 0. So it is, people are compliant, it is working. And one other thing, Mayor, I have a reminder for Braidwood residents. The registration for the new Motorola Rave Smart 911 notification program is now live. The system will officially replace the current Evanbridge notification system as of July 1st. Residents who have enrolled in the Evanbridge system will need to re-enroll in the new system, as their enrollment for Evanbridge will not transfer over. For enrollment instructions, please see the flyers located on the City Police Department or as the Facebook pages. For residents without access to computers or smartphones, please complete one of the enrollment assistant forms located at the City Hall. And a volunteer from Braidwood ESDA will reach out to you directly to assist you in enrollment process. Once the city's new website goes live, there will also be a dedicated page containing all of the details and an enrollment link. The new Motorola Rave Smart 911 system will be used to send out emergency alerts along with non-emergency community-based notifications. The system features several enhanced capabilities which will be great benefit to our city and its residents. We would like to thank Will County 911 for all their hard work in facilitating this transition and allowing communities within the county to access and service fee of charge. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Chief, you wanted to share something, you wanted to talk about something tonight?
Yeah, I'll be brief with it. I just want to take this opportunity to remind anyone here in the council especially, the value of our license plate readers we have in town. And the license plate reader systems really statewide and nationally for that matter. We had 2 cases recently in Braidwood, one being the burglary to the BP, and the second, the apprehension of an intersection of a kidnapping out of Arkansas. Without those license plate readers, we would never have even had a sniff into who our suspects were that broke into the BP gas station. And we would have not have brought a 14-year-old to safety who had been traveling with a 24-year-old who 11 months previously started to manipulate the 14-year-old online on TikTok Live, ultimately developed a relationship, and then convinced her to come back to the Chicagoland area from Benton County, Arkansas. This car traveled from Benton County, Arkansas all the way to Braidwood along 55, and all these agencies along the way were looking for the wrong vehicle. I was proud of our guys for having the skill set and the will to dig a little deeper and actually figuring out that all those agencies along the way were looking for the wrong car. They located the right car using our flock system, which we have in Braidwood, and then the vigilance system which is along the interstates to find the right vehicle, and then we waited for it as it passed our exit and pulled the car over and took the 14-year-old into safety, into protective custody. So these LPR systems are under attack in Illinois by the ACLU. House Bill 5151 has been gaining great traction by legislators in Illinois that is going to greatly restrict the use of these LPRs. They're pouncing on a few instances where, unfortunately, law enforcement across the state, select officers have misused that software and sort of dismissing cases like we just experienced here at Braidwood, where we had a 14-year-old 20 miles from the greater Chicagoland area, and who knows what her future would have looked like if she made it there. They dismiss those, and they look at those few instances of abuse of the system or abuse of the software. So if you have an opportunity to talk to the legislators that are representing Braidwood area, please consider talking about this House Bill 5151 to restrict the use of these LPRs. They have been godsend for law enforcement, as you know, the criminals use technology to their advantage all the time. As technology advances, so do their skill sets and abilities, and we try to keep up. And this is the way we've kept up, and it's close to being stripped from us. So
I think the most important thing that the board and the citizens need to know is there are policies in place for the police department.
they're
And
absolutely
our officers are trained and they're aware of that, you know, you don't use stuff for personal use. And that's what our officers in the past that they're bringing up, for instance, is are abusing their position, you know, but we have policies in place, and you say you communicate with the officer, they know that they're not to be used for.
We have policies in place and audit trails to review to find those instances of abuse.
Yeah, and it just, the benefits outweigh,
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
and you guys have solved a lot of cases, your investigators solved a lot of cases using them, but
Yeah, Braidwood, you know, hands off to this community for investing in the flock system. You went all in, and it's proven to be very beneficial, and it's kept this community very safe.
does the school still contribute to the ones by the schools?
No,
They did initially.
they did initially. Yeah, we're covering the cost at this point.
Again, it's beneficial because if there's a plate that's had like a sex offender or anything, it'll send an alert to the guys, and then how they work now, it'll send an alert if there's,
Yeah, yeah, it's
it's very, very beneficial for the community.
yeah.
Chief, this House bill, I apologize, is it, they're trying to get rid of the flock and the license plate readers? Or
So,
just?
so Flock is one company that has a license plate reader system, LPR. Vigilant is a large one. They're trying to greatly restrict the use of it. One example is they want all data captured by the LPRs and stored in their servers to be purged within 72 hours. Well, I can tell you, we never would have caught the burglars that hit the BP and lived in Chicago, because it took several days to start building suspect information. They would have been gone, that doesn't benefit anybody, but it's ACLU, they're afraid of government oversight and the big brother thing, so that's why they're pushing that. So one example is retention. They want it purged in 3 days. You know, they're not cameras, they're not live cameras, they just take snapshots of license plates as cars go by.
And they're in the squad cars, whereas the flock cameras are out stationary along the roads, correct?
Flock cameras are out along the road stationary. We
Yes.
have them on various roads in town.
Okay.
Correct.
There's nothing in the squad, right?
So we have a different camera system in the squad car through Axon that also has an LPR, and that's also connected to the hot files. And we can, you know, if it's a wanted vehicle, you know, a wanted burglar, and our squad passes it, it's gonna capture it and alert the officer on their computer of this hot vehicle that just passed your location. We can whip around and stop the car. So we have two different systems in place.
How long is that information stored for, do you know?
I don't know offhand how long that's stored for. I can get that for you, but I don't know
I was
offhand.
just kinda curious.
Yeah.
I know the Chicago PD has their own system, and we were looking for cases. We find out if you hit by Midway over here, it all at the same time. Well, we were looking for a certain car, well, the Chicago PD squad car, as he's driving to work, would hit a driveway, and it would pick up the car at the same time at like 6:30, so we're able to locate where that car was at.
Yeah.
It was, it's a great resource,
Yeah.
so, all right.
That's it.
All right, thank you. Appreciate the information. Next up on the agenda is planning and zoning. Do we have anybody here from planning and zoning? Do not. Next on the agenda is old business. Do we have any old business? Okay, next on the agenda, do we have any new business?
Yeah, I'd like to remind everybody that the Lions Club this Saturday will be hanging red, white, and blue ribbons on the light post if anybody wants to come out and help, 10 o'clock. We're at here in the parking lot and help tie ribbons on the light poles. That's it.
All right, thank you. I see it on the report, Steve, that the Van truck came in today.
It was delivered, yes.
Yes, I
George,
want to talk a little bit about that, where you said that there's wants and needs. I mean, we are doing 5 roads. We did order an $800,000 truck that the city wanted.
Yeah, those are.
Is there anything in the budget that you wanted that you didn't get, that you asked for?
No, I wasn't thinking, I don't see, when you say that roads that I wanted roads, I look at it differently. It's a semantics thing. I think we need road up.
Oh, absolutely, but no, we have 5 roads, we did 3 last year,
Yeah,
we
and
have 5
we do
roads next year.
sections, we do bad sections, we don't do the whole road, you know, we do sections of road, but, no, I don't know if you wanna get into it, but I just think we're at the point that we should that some people sitting up here were questioning how much money was in there over a year and a half ago. Now you're here, you see the money is there, that the money was handled responsibly over the past 6-7 years. And now we're using it to spend on a park and a dog park.
Yeah, well, we also
To
did-
me,
Yeah, no,
let me finish. To me, that's not responsible way of handling the money that's in there. It's a want, to me. Sometimes you've told me before, we're meeting the needs of the public. I just disagree. It's just a basic disagreement, that's all.
we also did the roofs out at.
Yes.
We
Oh,
did-
yeah,
we-
and those are things that
And then some
need to
needed
be
to be done.
fixed,
They
just like
needed
this
to be
house
done.
on Mitchell needs to be fixed. It's just a basic thing that needs to be done.
Yeah.
We need squad cars, we need to update, fleet. All
Squad cars
those
are pretty
things.
updated though. We
Okay.
just purchased, we had 2 new
Yeah.
cars this year, right? So we're doing pretty good.
And that's good, and that's great. If we
And-
can do
and-
that and stay where we're at, I think it's great.
Yeah, it's just trying to find a balance, because listen to the public and what the
Yeah,
town,
it's
we want to grow as a community, and we want to offer things to our citizens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's nice just to have new roads, but it would be nice to have nice things, nice parks for our citizens in town. That's just.
If
my
they'll be
thoughts.
used, I'm
If they'll be
hoping they'll be
used.
used. I mean, I drive by the grade school, they've got a beautiful park back there. Other than school, I don't see it being used that often.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm not too far from there. I make it a point to drive by there on nice days. Last night, there were some kids out there playing ball and stuff on the field. But I just hope it's going to be used.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten to the point in this country where we have, the kids aren't as active as they were when we were kids. You know, they have other things to do. They have these things, they have TVs all over the house. So I'm just
Baseball and
hoping,
video games,
I'm just
yeah.
hoping it gets used.
Yeah,
I hope.
I agree. I hope so too.
I know, Dale, the park next to me, because it's right there, I can go sit on my back patio and watch the kids there. There's kids in there all the time. I know because my dogs bark every time they go down the street. But there are kids in there all the time playing.
The small part, right? Not
Yeah, the
Old
Lions,
Smoke.
but that's Lions Park, right?
Uh-huh.
They're next to my house. But they're in there playing, so the parks get used. I don't think with the city, with the school park, or it's really not a park, with the school playground, I don't think it gets used as much in the summer as it does like at spring or fall. You'll see kids out there, but in the summer, the kids are doing other things. You know, they're swimming and fishing and doing whatever they can find to do than going to the park.
Yeah, and that's the best time of the year around here. I mean, we've got 3 or 4
Right.
months in the winter where they won't be using it, so.
All right. Executive session, do we don't have anything in executive session, do we?
Unless you want.
No. Don't want. All right. The next regular city council meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, July 14th at 7 p.m. The next committee of the whole is scheduled for Tuesday, July 14th at 6:30. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion, we have adjourned.
All right,
Motion
thanks,
carries.
Fox.
Jeez.